Hey guys, welcome to my studio tour. Come through. So first we're gonna start this section here. I don't know if I actually ever told you guys or showed this in the previous video, but I got a kitchenette done. And what I did is I actually used our old kitchen cupboards. I got the kitchen wrap company to come and do the wrapping, and they were incredible, amazing service, incredible job, as you guys can see. So it looks really stunning. Then we have a coffee machine here that I got from Smeg. Smeg is obviously part of the family, and so we had to make sure that everything here that's appliance has to be, you know, Smeg. Continuing in that theme, we have our Smeg fridge, which is quite empty currently, looking a little sad, but that's because it's Doit October, so I haven't really been able to, other than some water, I haven't really been able to drink a lot of the stuff that's in there. And then moving on here, oh, I should mention guys, my studio was actually decorated by none other than Mrs. Mom.
Duh.
So Mpumi helped me get pieces in terms of furniture. Babe, why are you cool?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I'm joking. Yeah, so Mpumi kind of helped style everything to fit what I initially did with the color scheme and, you know, just the main stuff. But yeah, things like this was my idea. I created that, and going forward you'll see other stuff. But this is all Mpumi. I love this section just to bring some warmth, some livelihood. Obviously it's a dark room, so I do want it to still feel, you know, comfortable, and this was a big part. And then this is my newest feature that has gotten into the studio. This was the last piece of the puzzle. This is my Shun couch. I think it's called the Sylvia. This is the two-seater version, which just came out, which is incredible, guys. The quality is incredible. Like with a studio like this, for me, we had to have, like, basically, because my studio is in such a weird location, everything that comes in can never get out. So I had to have something that I can have for the next 5 to 10 years and not complain about the quality, not complain about the build. And this couch is just everything. I've had it for like a week now, and it's just, honestly, it's changed my life. I've become more productive now sitting on this couch. No, I'm joking guys, I've always been productive, but yeah, I really love it. It's quite sensitive in terms of the material, so, but like, this is not a place for kids, so it's fine. Everyone who comes here, rubber sanitizer, so it's gonna work quite well. And then we've got this, these two little table thingies. Again, this was Mpumi's doing. I don't know where Mpumi got these, but they're really cool. They match the aesthetic, you know, the wood and the black, which is kind of what we went for, as you'll see going forward. And then we've got this black man, just because I'm a black man. It's artsy, you know. At the end of the day, this is still a creative space, so we do want it to feel artsy. And yeah, I think sometimes it can tend to feel too corporate-y. So essentially here is supposed to be seated a coffee book on the table. There's a beautiful Porsche 911 coffee book that we had bought, but then our cards declined because, I don't know, limit exceeded or whatever. Some weird thing happened. I don't know if it's the Lord or what, but that's the plan with this, so that when my guests come in, the idea is this, guys, when people come in, they sit down, they, you know, have a seat. I make them either a cup of coffee or offer them a drink. That's why the kitchenette is on this side, closer to the seating area. And then they read, you know, they read about stuff I like. Porsche is one of the companies that I really like. I'm very interested in the 911 in particular. So that was that book, but I'll add it as time goes. And then lastly, about this section, this is also going to be our podcast section, which was another reason why I got this couch, just because it was this it's a two-seater, but it still feels wide enough to kind of have two people without them feeling like they're sitting too close. And yeah, we needed a space where we can do our podcast, as like I said, this studio you will see is not going to be like other studios because it's specifically for our needs, Mpumi and myself. And what we like to do is, obviously we do a lot of content creation, we do music, and you know, we just do general admin work. So that's what we try to do with this space. We try to make it fit all those needs. So yeah, we're going to be shooting some of our podcasts here just because the studio is going to get treated and it's going to sound incredible, and everything will always be connected, which is something that sucks. If you shoot content, you know how hard it is to constantly be turning stuff on and whatever. So yeah, that's this section. Then we've got these pillows again. Cushions. Sorry. We've got these cushions. This is Mpumi's work. Mpumi's a cushion queen. Yeah, I was just gonna have the couch as it is. I didn't see a problem, but then she put these on and I was like, wow, okay, it kind of works. So guys, if the shots are a bit weird, just know Mpumi's behind the camera. so we've got this carpet. I basically wanted a Maxhosa vibe, but like for a budget. So we got this couch just because this carpet, sorry, just because it kind of makes the space a little bit less like neat and tidy. Because like I said, sometimes things get very corporate-y if everything is super sleek, but I did want to go for kind of like a modern yet still comfortable look. So this carpet I think does a great job of blending those two worlds. And then coming through to this section, this is basically the recording section when it's going to be done. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this space a lot more than I treat the rest of the studio, just because this is where I'll record my vocals. And we went for like more of an open feel, because when we were building the studio we had options of, do we build a booth or do we kind of leave it open? And because I mostly work alone, or like with maybe one other person or Mpumi or people, you know, I didn't want to have that separation, just because it can get tedious, especially when you're recording yourself, to kind of press record, then run into the studio and record. And the way I record, I like to stack a lot of vocals. If you've heard Mukutsuri, you know this, that's my sound. If you haven't, please check out the music video. This is a shameless plug. Music videos out, Mukutsuri. It's trending on YouTube. Shout out.
Yay.
So yeah, so because of the way I work, I prefer to have the microphone kind of very close to where I am, because I usually record myself. And then I've got a guitar here that I got from Uba Victor Mason.
The real Bab Victor Mason.
Yeah, so this is very close to my heart. I actually don't know if I have to take it back. I don't know if you gave it to me or borrowed me, but I've had it for like the whole of lockdown. And I've been fiddling with it. And then, yeah, this is this is also a new feature that you guys I guess haven't seen. This is a custom desk that we built. Yeah, so it was important because of, like I said, I want to kind of be comfortable here. I needed a desk that was made especially for me. One thing about me, I like to have a lot of space on the table, and this is like more space than I could ever need. And yeah, we basically got a guy to do the frame, and then we just cut the wood thingy. So we basically did it ourselves. It was kind of like a DIY vibe, except I wasn't DIYing, but that was the idea. And then here I've got my babies, my Adam Audio T8Vs. So yeah, these are great studio monitors. I really recommend these, like, for anyone who wants to take music seriously. This is a great place to start because they're not that expensive. But the quality that you get, it's honestly unbelievable. I don't think you can get anything that sounds this good at this price point. So these are really, really dope, and I really love them. Then I've got this mini lab here that I borrowed from a friend of mine. So I use this if I'm like programming like beats and stuff. If I'm making beats with my beat maker, I'll use this. Then I have this. This is a Focusrite Liquid 56. So this is for in case, like, one day if I want to bring in a choir and maybe I want to set up like more than 2 mics, because my other audio interface only has 2 inputs, then I can just kind of use this one, or kind of convert or add on to the 2 that I have using this. So that's why this is here. It's not something I use often, but it's good to have. And then my laptop, I use this is a MacBook Air M1. So this is a 2020 M1, 2020 or 2021, I don't know, but it's the latest one with the M1 chip. And yeah, man, it's a workhorse. I recommend this to everyone who's, if you're doing any editing for video, or you do like music and you know you work on Logic or you work on Final Cut, this is the best you can have.
No, my email.
Even emails, actually.
I use mine for emails.
Yeah, Mpumi has the same laptop and she loves it. The battery life is insane. It's really like great bargain. And then here I've got my, yeah, it's actually on. That's another thing, guys. Everything's always on. That's the cool thing about having a studio. Everything's always on. You don't have to be plugging stuff. But yeah, I've got my Nord Electro 6 HP This is probably my favorite piece of equipment ever in the studio. Just because it's so functional. I love the sounds. A lot of times when I'm doing covers, this is what I use. I use the piano straight from the keyboard. I don't use plugins unless I have to. But yeah, you can use it either as a MIDI controller, which is great. You don't need to get like plugins for that. You just use it as a MIDI controller, or you can use the onboard sounds of the keyboard, which is again amazing because everyone uses it, so the sound is quite familiar. So I love it. This is a chair that I have had for a bit. We got this off Superbalist. Yeah, I love it also. Like it's very nimble. It moves around nicely, especially on the wooden floors.
Nimble.
Yeah, it's nimble. It's nimble.
Fancy.
Shout out to Laminate Flooring who did my floors. If you guys didn't watch that video, but they did the floors in this place, and yeah, they really turned the place around. What else? Oh yeah, then we've got my Apollo Twin. Like I said, this is my favorite piece of equipment, the Nord, but then this is my second favorite piece of equipment. So whenever you guys say, the audio quality is so good, it's because of this thing. This is like basically, I don't know, the best that you can get in terms of interfaces, just because it's got such a clean sound. There's not a lot of noise, especially if you do it properly and you're in a treated room. And that's why I got it, because I knew that I was kind of moving my career into like a more professional setting and not just kind of like a, you know, like a prosumer. I was becoming more of a professional. So that's why I got this, and it's really just changed my life, especially because also it's good for driving these speakers. I didn't speak about that mic because it's discontinued, but it's an SE 3300. Yeah, it's an SE Z3300A. This is the mic I use for all my songs, Mukutsuri, Joy Joy, every song you've heard my voice on radio. It's been that song, it's been that microphone, and that's great. And then this is something I added recently. I have this this boom arm here, just for when I'm kind of tracking down ideas. I want to be able to move around and not, like I said, everything's always plugged in. So yeah, this is a great idea for like putting down ideas, demos and stuff. So that's why this is here. And then I've got just these random trash headphones. I hate them. I'm not going to talk about them, but it's fine. It gets the job done. Then we have this plant. Again, shout out to Mpumi.
We got it from the house because we've got real plants now.
Yeah, so Mpumi switched from fake plants to real plants. Oh yeah, this is also my favorite thing to do now. So I love this chair because it just spins around so easy.
You forgot Joy Joy.
Oh snap! Oh yeah, so this plaque eventually is going to go behind the kitchenette. So the kitchenette wall is gonna be, show them the kitchenette. So that's where it's gonna go. It's gonna go up here. And then as soon as Mukutsuri hits, you know, gold or platinum, that's also going up here. So that's why we have this section. This is the wall of fame, essentially.
For Brenda.
For Brenda. Yeah, that's quite vague. Yeah, but it's essentially the wall that reminds me of what I'm doing. Again, as you can see, guys, there's not a lot of stuff happening in the studio, just because I'm not really into busyness. I like things being very simple. I don't want to be confused by too much going on. I don't like having pictures of myself randomly. I know there's people who are into that. I'm not that guy. And then lastly, I've shown you guys this, but this is where the magic happens. This is where I come in the mornings, you know. When the day starts, you kind of just want to reflect how you feeling. This is comfort. This is just pure comfort. It's like being hugged by a bear, and it's just the best feeling in the world. So this is my fat sack. I can't rave enough. Every creative space, home, whatever, you need this thing.
We need 3 more.
The kids are in love. So we've got 2. We've got one in the living room that we literally, like, guys, we don't even use our couch anymore. At this point, we want to sell our couch just because we don't need it. And this thing, I mean, this is the large one. I think it's the biggest one they have. And you can sit like the 4 of us fit on this one fat sack. So it's really, it's so soothing, and being able to look out into the window and see the trees, like I just feel like I'm in nature. This is the only sentimental piece in the studio, and that's this tape recorder that I got, because if you guys don't know, my uncle was actually a singer. This is my uncle here. Rest in peace. So he passed away like quite a while ago. And he's like one of the first people that actually ever believed in me as a musician. Like even before I knew it was a career, I only knew it was possible through him because he did it. So I kind of keep that as a reminder of why I do it. So I have this tape recorder because his music is only on tape. So he never actually, like, he passed on before I think music was even being done on CDs. Well, he didn't do it on CDs, but CDs weren't a thing yet. And so the only way I can play his music and kind of keep his memory is through this tape recorder. So that's very dear to me. And oh yeah, and I've got these AirPulse A80s. These are really, really great, especially for like if I'm working on the table and I want to hear music through the sound system. They Bluetooth, so most of the time my laptop is always connected to them. So if that's what I'm doing, then I basically just kind of I switch to these, and I really, really like them. I have them on the desk for now just because this is the only table I have in the studio, but I think in future I'll probably add another kind of cupboard thing just to house them. And also I might end up adding a screen where this plaque is, because this section is actually going to be empty. So I'm definitely considering putting in a big screen there just for in case we want to do movie nights sometimes. So yeah guys, that's been my studio tour. I hope I didn't bore you guys. I hope it wasn't too long. I know that a lot of you guys have been waiting for it for a long time, and I really apologize. We hit a bunch of turbulence, but we landed safely. And yeah, so I'm so excited just for you guys to see all the content that we're going to be creating from this space going forward. We've actually already been creating, to be honest. So yeah, you guys have obviously seen the work, but it's just going to continue to come out. And I recommend that you do something like this for yourself. If you are a creative, if you know, whatever business you do, I think you should always set up a space that encourages you to do what you love. A space that reflects on who you are, and for me that reminds you why you do it, just so that every day you wake up it doesn't feel like you're going to a job. It just feels like you're going to hang out. And that's what I wanted to do with this studio. So thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, the next video will probably be a Free to Worship. Free to Worship is coming back. I just need to convince Mpumi that we need her, because guys, Mpumi gets so busy. But yeah, cheers guys.